after a long, I think like a 4-year hiatus. We're back with my show, I guess, Gabby Bendel show. And with Miss Cleo's Spirit, that was the last show we did. We are here today, and we have a very special guest, Dan. And as you can see, he is a nudist. Is that what we?
That is correct.
Nudist, naturalist.
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 Yep.
Let's just start with it. So first, let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
You are in your 50s,
Mm-hmm.
married,
Yes.
kids,
Yes.
professional.
Yes.
So if I ran into you at Publix, I would have no idea.
If I had my clothes on, you would have no idea.
Right.
If I was nude, you'd certainly know it. Yeah.
Is this something that you freely tell people? Like, do you have to get to know people well? How does that work? Like, how does it? Do all your friends know? Is it do your neighbors know? Like,
No.
No.
One neighbor knows. You have to feel people out,
Okay.
first of all.
Okay.
And I don't always go nude when I'm in public, but when I'm at my house or if I'm working, sometimes I'll advertise for certain helpers to do certain things.
like handyman work?
Work, yep, or mainly landscaping, that part.
Okay.
Where I need 2 people, and I'll in the ad I'll always ask, are you comfortable with me being nude? Now,
So when they come to your house, like, I don't know, a plumber,
mm-hmm.
you'll put an ad out saying you'll be in the nude, or how does that?
Yes.
Sometimes. Okay.
And it's not usually plumber, it's more for like a helper for me.
Oh, okay. An assistant, sort of.
But it's been that way, yeah. An assistant, right, exactly. And I use the same ads that the venue that you use, Craigslist.
Okay, right, Craigslist.
And
is
you
the
get
bomb.
some crazy
Oh, yeah.
things that come back because people don't read. And I'll put in there big, bold letters. I'm not asking you to be nude.
Right.
I'm going to be nude.
Right.
Are you comfortable with it at certain times?
Okay,
I'm
let
not
me-
always nude.
I'm going to flip-flop. What if the landscaper said, I would like to be nude as well? How would you, has it?
They've done that before. And it's fine.
It's fine.
If I'm in a spot where I feel comfortable being nude, they want to be nude, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know, I really don't mind.
Yeah.
But I've had some weird ones, like people
Oh.
say, guys that'll reply back, hey, I want to be in lingerie when I'm working.
Right.
I don't think so.
Right.
Crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like anything else, you get 10 replies to
yeah.
a work, and I've had several people. There's one gentleman that works with me. He's certainly hetero, likes women.
Right.
And
you are as well. Because,
and me too, yes.
Yeah.
And he's not real comfortable with me being nude. But
Okay.
he said yes at first. And I could tell that he wasn't, because sometimes, for instance, we were planting, I think, impatiens. This was maybe about a year ago. And
the nudist planting impatiens.
Nudist planting impatiens, and my penis is close to his face, or my
Yeah,
ass is
yeah.
close to his face, and I could see he wasn't really comfortable with it. And I asked him, I said, listen, if you don't feel good about it,
Uh-huh.
it's not a problem. I can put clothes on. And he says, no. So now he's totally okay with it. He doesn't care.
It's just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a professional man. How often, I don't know, in a day, a week, like kind of give us like,
Okay.
how
Yeah.
often are you nude?
In the house, I'd say out of, if I'm at home all day long, let's say out of a 12-hour day, probably 4 hours.
Okay.
Yep.
And you said you're married.
But I'm inside.
You're inside.
Right. Now,
Right.
outside, let's say out of a 6-hour day that I'm working outside, I have to be careful where I'm being naked. So probably 2 hours, 3 hours.
Okay, now I'm like, well, so when you mean outside naked, do you mean like your yard?
My yard.
Okay.
My yard.
How public have you been naked? Like, what's the most, you're not going into, a restaurant naked.
Right.
Unless are there places that welcome that? Is there a community a resort?
There are some.
Uh-huh.
There are some. And to be honest with you, I've never been to one. I know that there, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
There was a gal that used to do massages for me, and she also worked at a small hotel that was downtown Fort Lauderdale, totally nudist. And she was always making jokes because
Wow.
there were high rises next to it, and people would look out,
Yeah.
to see the other people nude that were in the hotel and by the pool.
Right.
So no, I haven't been to any of those, but
That's interesting. So you do this lifestyle just kind of at your home.
yeah, at my home, because I have the opportunity. Maybe those people, other people that
Right.
want to go to those resorts, they don't have that opportunity. But I also have a boat. I do a lot of boating.
Naked,
And naked,
nude.
yeah.
Yeah.
From the dock, no, but once out in the water,
Yeah.
yes.
So let's from the beginning. How old were you when this started? How did this come about? How
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it probably came about. I was explaining to you before. I had been to Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
We stayed at a friend's house, and his two girlfriends were. I mean, the two people rented the house. Two of my friends, and they had girlfriends. The two girlfriends were knocks your socks off, really gorgeous girls, and they were nude from morning till night.
Really?
They even had a grocery store. This was in the Up Island called Menemsha. I think if I remember right, it was so many years ago.
You said Martha's Vineyard?
Martha's Vineyard on I think Lobsterville Road.
Okay.
And there was this little store that they went in nude. They went in nude. Yeah.
Bottoms too.
Bottoms too. And the guy loved it inside,
I'm sure he
I mean,
did.
when they pulled up, obviously there were no cars out front, but this was, I mean, when you talk about this is like a little tiny grocery store in the middle of
Wow. And what
of
year?
country.
Like what can we gauge that?
80s.
80s?
80s,
Okay.
yeah. And they did that once in a while. But other than that, we would get in the car all nude and drive to the beach. Because
this
the
is
beach
where
was a nudist beach.
They introduced it to you.
They introduced it to me. And so when we first got there.
And it's you and your wife?
Yep.
Okay, so you've been married many years.
Yep.
Okay.
And so I thought, ooh, this is a weird feeling. But
Yeah.
and my wife thought it was really weird too. But we ended up, it was like somebody put clothes on. You didn't need clothes. It was as comfortable as that. And when we went to the beach, I thought, this is a little weird. We're going to get out of the car nude. And we did.
4 of you.
In the parking lot. 4 of us in the parking lot. And we walked to the beach, and I thought, God, I did take some clothes with me, thinking that I should put my clothes on.
Backup clothes, yeah.
And I realized when I got to the beach that had I put clothes on, or had I had clothes when I got to the beach, I'd look like a pervert. Like guys would go there, or girls would go there, watching to see what was going on. Everybody was nude. So the idea came to me, or the realization came to me, that it's what's in everybody's mind. And if and nudity, you feel so good being outside, the wind blowing on you, the sun on your back, and it's a natural thing to be. I mean, when you look at God's creatures, we're part of God's creatures.
Okay, so
most of them are nude.
Yeah,
we're the only ones that
you're right.
wear clothes.
So, okay, 2 things came to my mind. One, right now you're nude.
Yep.
I'm obviously dressed.
Right.
Our videographer is dressed. Do you feel you walked in?
You guys should
dressed?
start taking your clothes off so that you feel comfortable too.
Yeah. Do you feel more comfortable when you were dressed, or equal, or like, are you more comfortable now? Before?
I'm the same. Except I have to say that the only reason that I'm comfortable is because you asked your videographer how he felt about me being nude.
Right.
And you said you were comfortable about me being nude. If either of you said you were uncomfortable, I would be uncomfortable.
Right.
So to me,
it's the vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
And listen, there's nothing I'm ashamed about. I'm a few extra pounds.
Yeah, we're all.
But I try to take care of my body. As you see, I'm totally shaved.
Yeah.
Manscaped.
So you're manscaped. Yeah.
I get my nails done at certain places, and my.
So okay, back to the Martha Vineyard the first time.
Yes.
Now you said, this is a question I kind of polled a few people the questions.
Okay.
And the big one is, you're saying these girls are hot.
They were hot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get sexually aroused, guys can't hide it. So
yeah, you do, sure.
And
sure.
And then what?
So if I had an erection, I mean, my wife's there. I'm not gonna have sex with them, but it was erotic. I mean, that's the other part of being naked.
That's the big question people are asking. Like, how is it not sexual? Because typically when clothes come off, if clothes come off, typically if I'm naked with a guy and he's not, I'm feeling oh damn, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, It's a really good question. There is an eroticism, you know. I
There
mean, right
is.
now, listen, me being naked in front of the both of you,
Uh-huh.
there's a bit of eroticism, but you can see I don't have an erection.
No.
But there's an eroticism that
Yeah.
you know is kind of cool. You know that you're
Yeah.
open enough to have this and
I don't
to
think-
accept it.
I don't want to use the word deviant because that seems too like, you know. But there is, yeah, I get it. Like danger, maybe, or is that
Taboo.
taboo? That's the right word. Yes. Yeah. Taboo's fine.
Listen, I mean, that opens up a whole new world of everything. I mean, listen, there's people that love anal sex.
Yeah.
It's taboo.
Yeah.
You know?
Taboo.
And so the feeling is wonderful because of all the
Nerve endings, yeah.
and stuff like that. But I think people get into it because it's taboo, you know?
Taboo.
So here you are. And let's talk a little bit about why a lot of people don't accept nudity.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or why men can take their shirts off, as simple as that, and women can't.
There's
Like,
a great
what
one.
is- Yeah.
So let's say you go back in time
Okay.
and you'd see that maybe there were reasons. I mean, obviously there's reasons for clothes. If you're in a cold environment, you need
That's a
to
question.
wear-
That's another.
Yep.
What if you're cold?
you
That
need to
came up a
wear,
lot.
you need to have something to protect
Yes.
yourself. But I think for the most part, who was it or where was it that someone said, oh, you have to cover your genitalia, you have to cover your breasts,
Right.
you have to do this, you have to do that. So you start to think about it. Look at the Muslim world.
Mhm.
Women
Yeah,
in
totally.
Saudi Arabia just have their eyes
Right.
uncovered.
Right.
If they go into a restaurant, a man can't serve them. You start to look at that, and I think where that came from was to protect the women in that when there was a warring tribe that attacked the group, your biggest catch of the day would have been probably a 14, 16-year-old woman
Wow. Right.
that was good looking that you could snatch away. If she's
Mm.
covered, you can't tell whether she's 60 or 14. Sometimes you can't even tell if it's a man.
Right.
So it was to protect them. And
Oh, okay.
also
I never
now,
thought of that.
why can't a man serve them? Well, you don't want any man encroaching upon your
Right.
women's. But it's ancient. Get rid of it.
Ancient.
But they didn't.
Right.
Then you go to Victorian times. Victorian times, if a woman showed her ankles,
Yeah.
it was sinful.
Yeah.
Then comes the Catholics and
Yeah.
all their hang-ups. I mean, now I don't think when women go to church they even cover their head. Supposedly,
Right. No.
they had to have
no.
something over their head.
Right.
So you start to look at all these things, and they're kind of ancient. But it was a group that said this is bad. Now,
Right.
why does a man have to cover his penis,
Mhm.
his ass, but he can leave his shirt open?
Right.
So maybe someone might say, well, it's because there's an orifice that some fluid is expelled from.
That people have asked, like, what about like sitting right now? Like, you feel okay? You
Yeah.
know, like, yeah.
But that doesn't hold true because, I mean, you could say, okay, the ass, the vagina, the man's penis, but what about your mouth, your nose, and your eyes?
Yeah.
Fluids come out of there.
Right.
So, and then what's the difference between a man's breast, my breasts, and your breasts?
Yeah.
Yours are bigger,
Yeah.
and yours lactate if you're
Right.
if you're pregnant and have children. So things don't hold up. Doesn't make rhyme or reason. Now, what it really is my penis is basically a piece of flesh
Mhm.
covered in skin.
Mhm.
Same thing as my finger. Same thing
Yeah.
as my toe.
Yeah.
So who was it that says you're not supposed to show your penis, or you're not
Right.
supposed to show your
Right.
vagina, or
The
your
Bible,
or your
Adam
breast?
and Eve,
Where
I
did
mean-
it come from?
Yeah.
And it's just you have to look at it kind of that way. It's goofy.
Mhm.
And I think today's world we don't go by the rules as much as we do. We kind of question things, but
Right.
yet for nudity, it seems to be something that, like even a man to see me nude
Right.
feels uncomfortable,
Right.
especially in the
Even,
Muslim world. Yeah.
Remember Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl, and there was the nip slip, and that was like the wildest thing ever. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, it was a nipple. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a shy person, so
Right.
but that
Right. And then they talk about children see it. This
Right.
is the whole thing. You got to protect
Right.
the children.
Interestingly enough, not to get really deep into this because, your privacy and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but your own children don't know about your lifestyle.
Right.
Right. that's
Right. But
yeah.
when you say it's a lifestyle, it's not so much that I'm nude all the time. I'm
Right.
nude at certain points.
Right.
So I'm nude when I work, when the weather's nice.
Yeah.
Although I do like to go out when it's raining. It's really cool
Yeah.
to be outside. But
So when you left Martha's Vineyard, that
Mhm.
was like what, a weekend getaway or something, a little vacation,
yep. Mm-hmm.
and then your mind was blown. You're like, dang, I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was like, I'm on that. So then you come home,
Mhm.
and is it a conversation between you and your wife? You're like, let's embrace this. I'm curious. I want to keep going. Like, how did that evolve?
We didn't even really talk about it too much, to
Really?
be honest with you. I think it evolved where we had an opportunity at that time. I think I had a sport fishing boat, and we did a little nudity on that,
Uh-huh.
and it just kind of evolved. But if you invite friends out, I mean, I usually don't strip nude, but I do have some friends.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
I do have a couple friends, and they actually are both female,
Okay.
and
your wife's cool with that?
my wife's cool with it. Yeah.
And she also knew?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore.
She kind of gave up the lifestyle?
I think she did, yeah.
Okay. What is the largest gathering you've ever been with?
Them being nude or just me nude?
Whatever, both, like...
I'd say 4 or 5.
Okay, so it's typically a
Small group.
intimate, small group. And has it ever, again, I hate to harp on it, but it's just, I know, in my mind, I think so many people when you're naked, you think sexually, has being nude ever transpired into orgy kind of thing, or?
Well, listen, I've done orgies before, but it didn't start out where I was nude.
It didn't start out like that.
I got nude to do the orgy.
Yeah.
But has anybody ever touched me or played with me before while I was nude? Yeah, sure.
While you're married, you guys are in an open relationship?
I didn't tell my wife that. No, I didn't tell her.
Okay.
But
All right, that's fair.
it's yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
When you, during the day, your regular day-to-day life,
Mhm.
when you do get nude, is it spontaneous? Is it planned? Do you know, are you cooking nude? Are you
Well, a little bit of
watching
both.
TV?
A little bit of both. Like when I get up, I'll usually I sleep in the nude.
Okay.
First of all, and then,
I like to sleep in it. I mean,
me too.
To me, that doesn't.
Doesn't it feel great?
I love it.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's actually been a joke, with neighbors and stuff. I'm man, if our house ever gets on fire, we're all gonna run out of here. Most of us naked.
right.
Yeah. To me, that doesn't mean nudist though. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, if you like going to bed naked,
Yeah.
and you like to feel the sheets on your body,
Yeah,
you would like to be nude. You should try something.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
But going back to what your question was, I would say in general that nudity would come when the situation presents itself. But I get up, I usually put a pair of shorts on
Mm-hmm.
and walk around, get some juice, start my day.
Yeah.
And then usually I'll jump in the pool, take my clothes off.
Okay.
And the one thing that I really dislike, I end up, I'm not an over sweater, but I sweat enough. So
Okay.
for me, South Florida, I hate it here in the summer because of the hurricanes and the intense humidity.
Yeah.
So if I do any work outside, water is just pouring out of me.
Yeah.
And if I wear shorts or I wear a shirt, first of all, my shirt is totally saturated, and my shorts in my groin area right here.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. It's
Right.
wet,
Right.
So I'd rather be naked.
Oh yeah.
And
I can see that.
I can jump in the pool, and
Right.
even if I'm sweating, it evaporates faster because you don't have clothes on and you feel better.
Right. So now you were telling me earlier, and this is kind of just you're outside. So you said you can be kind of on one side of your yard because one neighbor knows about it.
Yeah. Well, my house is pretty well secluded. There's a hedge on all 3 sides.
Okay.
The one when you're facing the house on the left is about a 4-foot hedge, so you can see over it.
Okay.
But pretty thick. The other ones all have 7, 6 feet. You can't see over them. So the one neighbor, I think they have young children.
Yeah, that's
So I need to be careful. But
right.
even if I walked there nude, they couldn't see me. They'd have to stick their head through the hedge.
Yeah.
Or there's a spot in the hedge maybe where it's a little bit thin.
Yeah.
So I'm careful.
You have to be careful. Yeah, of course.
In the back, it's totally free. So nobody can see me.
Good.
And so that's where I usually go naked, and where I have fruit trees and stuff like that. So I'm into nature. I really like to
Right.
grow stuff.
And this is natural.
And natural, yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of it, yeah.
Right.
And then the other side, I have a neighbor, and she's seen me nude a couple of times. She's an older lady, and she thinks it's cool. So
That's
it's
awesome.
kind of nice, yeah.
And I was like, how? Because she's older. I mean, how old is she about?
I'd say she's 70-something.
I think it's cool. For
It
some
is
reason, I like it
cool.
more.
It is
Yeah,
cool.
she's a little
Yeah.
older. Now, have you ever gotten a situation where you're naked and you get shy? You're like,
And what?
you get a little shy. You're like, okay, I shouldn't have.
It happened just recently.
Really?
Yeah. I was doing work on this property, and
Here or in New York? Because I know
it
you
was in
also-
New York.
Okay.
And I had a helper that was with me, and she was totally comfortable with it. I was naked, and it was really hot there, so I would just pour water on me. We had a shower that wasn't working, but it
Yeah.
did have a drain, so I'd go in there with a bucket of water. I took a bunch with me. I just pour it over me and work, and then go back to work again, and until I couldn't take it anymore, and then water myself down. This poor girl, I mean, she said one time, a couple of times, she's almost fainted. It was so hot.
Yeah.
It was really hot
Right.
that day. And we had a carpenter come who was also doing some work, and he was working in another part of the house. And he said, "Could you put some clothes on? You know, it bothers me." So I said, "Sure. Why don't
So
you
it
say
bothered
something?"
him.
Bothered him.
Yeah.
But if it bothers him, it bothers me. So
Right.
So
That's
I
respectful.
put clothes on.
That's-
Yeah. Then I sweat like crazy.
Yeah. Right. So,
So people tell me ahead of time. I usually ask people beforehand.
that's really cool.
Yeah. But he came while I was. So.
Yeah. Now, do you have, I think you mentioned this earlier, but do you have like some other friends in the lifestyle, or
Yeah.
do you ever feel, okay,
I mean, yeah, I know of people, they tell
Yeah.
me, you know, and
do you ever feel isolated because of it?
not at all.
Like if you went to a Christmas party, right? An
Right.
office party or something, would you be like, dang, I wish everyone was naked?
Yeah, it'd be a lot more fun,
Yeah.
you know? It'd be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, what we talked about right now,
Uh-huh.
you should try it.
I should try it.
You
See,
should,
I wonder
because
how that
what's,
works. Like,
for instance, let me ask you, let me turn the
Okay,
tables.
go ahead.
Okay.
okay.
You're obviously okay with me being naked.
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed something, that you're only looking at my face. You don't look at other
I'm trying
parts of my
not to,
body.
yeah.
So you're a little bit taken back slightly by it.
I've never been in this situation before.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
Yeah.
a normal feeling.
Right.
So let's talk about an eroticism a little bit.
Okay.
How would you feel if you were naked and you're standing in front of two men, one clothed, one naked?
Uh-huh.
How would you feel?
The first thing I would feel is, you know, I've had 3 children. I've had 3 C-sections.
Right.
I would feel self-conscious about my stomach.
Okay.
I can tell you that off the bat.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I could do topless easily.
Okay.
It's the whole panties thing. And that's more about, like you're saying, you know.
So you're self-conscious. I'm self-conscious a little bit about my weight. You know,
Yeah,
I used to be a weightlifter. I was ripped, you know.
Wow.
So, but you know, unless you're really obese or something, it looks terrible. I mean, that's part of being nude. Everybody should be comfortable with it. You know,
Right.
you're not.
I'm a very, I do.
You're a
I'll
beautiful
walk
girl.
around.
Yeah, it looks
Thank
like you have a great body.
Thank you.
And if there's one portion that's out of sync, it shouldn't. I mean, in your
It
mind,
shouldn't.
it
Yeah.
shouldn't bother you. So A, you have to get over that. B,
Right.
you have to get over the erotic
That,
thing.
yeah.
But that's kind of cool. You should embrace that portion
Right.
of it. You should embrace the other part too. And that if I'm okay seeing you nude, and he's okay with seeing you nude, we're not here to judge you. We're only
Right.
here to make you feel good and everybody else feel good. So
Right.
these are the things you have to go over in your mind to feel good about it. And the little bit of eroticism is kind of cool, because how many times in your life, in anybody's life, the people that are watching,
Yeah.
how many times have they been nude in front of 2 guys and a
Right.
videographer?
Right.
You know, so there's something, you know, you should think about it and do it.
Yeah. I don't know, but right now, and then again, like, so you're gonna be pixelated and everything, you know, but I'm not.
Right.
You know, and
So
I do
you
have a
can't.
career, and
Right.
and even more than that, not even, you know,
You
my
certainly
career.
have to think of that.
My children.
Yes.
And they're teenagers.
Right.
And yeah, that.
Oh, for sure. If it's on video and it's going viral, you know, you can't do it.
I push the limits enough.
No,
with all that.
The nudity has to be a private thing. Private when I
Yes.
say 2, 3, 4 people, but you don't want to be on.
Not for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
But
the internet.
I'm not shy in any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, this is fine. I mean,
yeah. So this is part of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is part of being nude, you know, and part of feeling comfortable about yourself and about your environment and taking advantage of it. It's almost like, I would compare it to trying food. If you say, hey, I don't like this food, I've never had it before, but I've never had it.
Never had it. Yeah.
Why don't you like it? Because you know, it's soft, it's this, it's that, that's stuff I don't like. Well, try it. And sometimes you try it and it's fun. So all your viewers that are watching this, that you're maybe not into it, I would say, I'm not trying to sell you on an activity. It's not really, I mean, it could be a lifestyle, but it's an activity.
Okay, tell me about that. What's the difference between lifestyle and activity?
I think lifestyle is something that you do constantly, it's part of your life. That's how you are most of the time, I think, I would say. Okay. That you're in that mode most of the time. Activity.
So you're not most of the time.
No.
You can't.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Shoot, I had something I was going to ask you. Now I'm slipping. Sorry, we're going to have to edit this part. I forgot what I was going to ask you.
You know what? I got to tell you, there's some other things that are for your readers, for your listeners.
Yeah.
If they should try it, you should try it. If you do anything, the things that I've said, I'm not trying to convince you, but just think about it and see if there's do a little research on it and see if there's any validity to it. And if there is, try it. It's like that food. You might like it. Right. But I got to tell you one thing that is the most fun. I forgot. Skin diving and snorkeling in the nude.
Skin.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Oh, my God. Yeah. When you go in the water.
Well, it's like skinny dipping.
It's skinny dipping, but you're underwater. So in the case of scuba diving, you got a tank on you, right?
Yeah.
And you got your...
You don't need the whole...
No, unless it's cold.
Yeah.
But these waters here, I mean, you jump in the water now, it's like bath water.
Yeah.
So, and there's all different types of stuff you can wear too. It doesn't have to be the neoprene. It can be another one for when the water's a little cooler. But you want to go in nude. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
You got your tank, you got your mask, your fins, and when you go in, for a woman, it's really cool because nothing sags. Everything is like perfect. Your hair is perfect.
There you go. Okay.
You look great. And guys too, kind of the same thing. You know, we just hang out there. And it's such a cool feeling. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome. I haven't done it in a long time, but I do like skinny dipping. It's fun. Jump in a pool, a lake, a river, whatever. Yeah, that's really cool. So, okay, this is one thing. So you said a couple times you don't go to like a nudist colony or...
I would do it.
You would, but why haven't you?
I don't find the need for it. I can go nude where I want to go, you know, pretty much. I mean, it takes up enough of my activities. I go nude in the house. I go nude in the backyard. But if you go on vacation, you don't seek that out? I was going to, and as a matter of fact, I was in a small hamlet of a town, and this is
like
where
the word hamlet.
and this is where I was doing this construction. Okay. And somebody told me, we were talking about this area that I knew real well, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's a nudist colony." I go, "What?" And I thought, how cool. And I drove by it a couple of times buying materials in another town, and I thought, man, I should check it out and see what it's all about. Yeah. I have it. And I know another guy was a friend of mine. He bought a mobile home park, and he turned it into a nudist mobile home park. And he said he was making money hand over fist. And the reason for it is that people from Canada would come down, book the mobile homes. And
down here in South Florida?
In South Florida.
Okay.
And he said that there was no destruction, no damage. He made more money, and half the time, you know, the people weren't in it. Yeah. But he still was getting paid. So
I wonder if you need like a permit for that or something.
I I don't know, but what a great idea,
Great idea.
Yeah, investment wise.
But then, not to be like stereotypical, but you think like mobile park, and I'm having images of like Tiger King naked,
Yeah,
I
think
but I know
these are
what you mean, because the
sophisticated.
Canadians, they do come down here all the time.
And he restored.
Snowbirds.
I saw some stuff he did. He restored it. And, I mean, he did them look like your house.
Yeah,
It was really
no,
nice
they
inside.
are really nice. That's just a stereotype or whatever. But so when you're in the house,
Mhm.
do you work from home?
Yeah, I would say I do. Yeah.
Okay, now does your wife work from home? Or
She does. Yeah.
do you? I don't know if this is the right word. Do you have to ask permission? Like, hey, honey, I'm gonna get naked now.
Heck no.
He
She's comfortable
said,
with
heck
it.
no.
She's comfortable with
Yeah.
it. Like I said, the only time she's probably not comfortable is if somebody comes to the door and
Yeah.
and I'll
Right.
throw a towel around me or something.
So at what point? Because you said in the beginning, after Martha's Vineyard, when you were introduced to it, you both were doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then just gradually you continued, and your wife stopped, or
Mm-hmm.
you guys have a nice understanding then. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think why she stopped was when we were first married, she had a killer body. I mean, it was not just because she was my wife; it was a hot
It
body.
was a hot bod. Yeah.
And after she had kids,
It happens.
things happened, and
Yeah.
so she's self-conscious about certain parts of her body, that
Yeah.
she felt maybe she's a little more overweight than she was before and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that part for a woman, I can see where that
Right.
becomes. You think that people are always judging you and watching what's going
So that's
on.
probably even a better reason to get naked, is to just
It
like,
is.
because when you have a fear, the best thing to do is not break
Precisely,
through it.
precisely.
Yeah. So
And I know a girl that she was. This girl was a world-class skier.
okay.
She had a body that was ripped.
Yeah.
I mean, muscles
Yeah.
that you couldn't believe.
Right.
Nice breasts, nice
Yeah,
everything. And she would always go naked, and she still does. And she's now had a lot of injuries, so
Yeah.
she's gotten heavier.
Right.
And she still goes naked.
Yeah,
she
good for
loves
her.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you don't see, you're in your 50s or whatever. This is for life. I never say never, but.
I think if I have to lose some weight a little bit, but I'm self-conscious just like you
You
would
seem
be.
super comfortable, though. It's awesome.
For right now, I am, but
Yeah.
if I start to get heavy, sag,
Yeah.
do certain things right now, my body's toned, I would say.
Right, yes, yeah.
But there could be a time where I wouldn't do it, or if my view to somebody, what it is they would consider repulsive or consider
Right.
offensive. I'm not repulsive, but offensive in a way they didn't want to look at it, so then I'd feel that. I mean, it's total, like looking in the mirror, what you're feeling back from that person. If they're not feeling comfortable, then I don't feel comfortable. I don't know about everybody else, but
Do you ever drive naked?
yeah, I've driven naked a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Again, for guys, it's easier because society lets you be without a shirt, so they wouldn't even know that, I can't drive naked. So there is the TV show Naked and Afraid. Are you a fan?
yeah. Just last night, to be honest with you, I'm kind of a fan, but last night I think I decided I'm not.
Why?
Because they're such a scam. Who's filming them? We talked about this before. Who's filming? They're not really alone. There's a film crew. There's a videographer there.
But they put them out in the trenches, the
They do.
elements.
They
I
do.
mean,
But
clothed or not clothed, that is hard.
it is. But
Yeah.
there's some other things too that just don't make sense. Like I think last night there was a group that was out in the Everglades and out in I think the middle of our state in some sort of
We have rough
swampy area around
Yeah.
Gainesville or so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of things to eat there. You can't be that stupid. You can cut palmetto bushes and eat
Right.
the central part, the stalk, and there's coconuts. You can eat those.
Right. But
If there's any there.
are you happy to see it, kind of more mainstream? Like
Yeah, it is kind of cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
That is. I have actually a cousin she's hiked the Appalachian Trail, and I think she put an interview in.
She did?
Yeah, an application or something, or they reached out to her. But her last name being Bendel, I'm always like, let me know, like I'll have a party to see the Bendel butt. I was like, I want to see it on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
That'd
I'd
be
love
cool.
to do it. It'd be really cool. You know
Yeah.
why? I'd lose weight.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I
You're okay
think-
without pockets?
I don't know. As you can see, my hands. I don't know what to do with them. You know.
Right. What do you normally? Well, you're normally doing regular
Yeah,
activities.
yeah. Because I'm sitting here talking to you.
So you're not ever like in this type of situation. Not just me, but like, if you have a friend come over, again, unless you talk to them beforehand,
Right.
you're not going to be nude.
I'm not going to be nude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing something, like I say, one of these girls, they like being nude. So if we go out on the boat or something, you know, they take off their...
Are you still friends with the people that introduced you to it?
No. It's long gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think one died, actually.
Oh, that's too bad. But thank goodness for them. You know, it's one of those like crossing your paths. What would have happened, do you think, in your life had that experience? Do you think you would have found it on your own? Do you think...
Yeah, I think so.
Were you ever thinking about it before that? Did it ever cross your mind? Did you like being naked before? I mean, you know...
Well, you know, I think we all love being naked as a kid. You have a couple of kids, right?
Yeah.
In the beginning, don't they love running around naked?
Right. There's no shame.
There's no shame.
There's no shame.
And then all of a sudden, here comes society. You got to wear clothes. You're supposed to do this.
Right.
And then they're friends, you know, and make fun of them if they don't have clothes on or something. So, it's always there. I think it's in everybody here.
Right.
It's in everybody. It's like,
For
instance, talking about, to get off the subject a tiny bit, massages. I get massages pretty often, as I do getting manscaped, shaved. And
do you wax?
I used to wax.
Okay.
And then I discovered shaving with an electric razor and then a straight razor.
Okay.
So I have that done. And listen, anytime somebody's working on your body,
right,
even if they're massaging you,
right.
I don't know about women because I'm not a woman,
right,
but for a guy, you get an erection, and you like to have your body touched.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing with being naked. It's, you know, there is that erotic there, not quite as much as that, because here you've got somebody actually touching you.
Wait, I don't know if I should ask this or not, but back to the massages. Are these like happy ending massages?
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Everyone.
Whoa.
I don't go anywhere without one. Oh. Because here's the thing I'm going to tell you.
Well, this is getting more interesting.
You hit. I forgot to make the point, to drive the point home.
Okay.
When anybody goes for a massage, well, let me say men. When men go for a massage,
can you kind of give me an idea where you're going? Because you're not going to Massage Envy.
No. Any place that's a franchise, is those people are not going to go over that line. Right. You probably wear underwear. Right. And if not, you're definitely draped. Okay. And they're not going to risk their license, and then plus they have a boss on top of that that watches over them. Right. So they're not. But these are people that have salons of their own. Okay. Or work out of their house with a salon.
Did you ask beforehand, like, I want the cherry on top special? Or
they usually will advertise that, or they'll lead their way, or when you're there, they kind of go that route. So I have about 5 different, actually 4, two females and actually 2 men. Okay. And so, they go that route. But any man that tells you they're getting a massage and they're not getting aroused, and they don't hope that even at Massage Envy, when the girl is like down by their groin, they're saying, "Oh, come on, go a little further, go a little further." Yeah. You know, come on. They're lying to you. They are lying to you. And so that what's the word? Innate feeling that's inside us that the male has. Yeah. It's there too with wanting to be naked and wanting that little arousal to be outside and that little bit of it just adds a little bump to the day, you know. Yeah. And it makes you feel good, you know. So so I would imagine women have, I don't know about when you get massage if you're feeling the same thing, but
you feel tingly.
Well, let's say, have you ever had massages, right? And any men give you a massage?
I've had men give me massage before.
And so what happens when they get close to your breasts, your vagina, your butt? Do you now be honest, subconsciously are you saying, wow, I wish he goes a little further. I wish.
You maybe a little. You know, I'll think it's never happened.
Yeah, I know.
But I might be like, oh damn, like.
If he went a little further,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay,
I
give
don't know
me 5.
how
Okay, look,
all right,
you're honest.
fist bump.
You're honest. You're honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I appreciate it.
I would probably tell him to stop though.
Yeah.
I'd be like, whoa, you know.
Your videographer. Ask him. Videographer,
Videographer.
we have a question for you. When you're getting, do you get massages very often?
Yeah, but not like in a place. It's usually with like a girlfriend.
Girlfriend, right?
So it's always gonna
But
be-
wouldn't you
Yeah,
say wouldn't you
always
say
that.
every male that has a massage always wishes if he doesn't?
Oh yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just good. You're living. You know what I like? I feel you are living authentically,
Yes.
and that is something that's like my number one wish for my own life. You know, like I say what I mean, and
Yep.
I live the way I mean,
Right.
and just authentic. I love that you're so authentic and you're being
Thank
honest.
you.
Like,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, because you're right. Who doesn't want a happy ending, basically?
Right.
But
But everybody lies about it.
yeah,
You know?
or we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, we're not
Yeah.
supposed to say that. So okay, so we talked about the nudity, obviously.
Yeah.
Some massages.
Mhm.
So you have a little bit of a wild streak, or you
Oh,
know, yeah. Okay, so are there other things besides that the typical might not, I don't know, fantasies that you're acting out on, or
Lot.
a lot? Ooh, can you share some?
No.
None?
No.
Come on.
No.
Give me a little taste. Not like
Okay.
okay.
Since this is pixelated,
Pixelate it, right, videographer?
you talk about sexual wise?
I'll take anything, but
Okay.
yeah.
Talk about sex.
Okay, let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
I'm not gay,
Okay.
and I don't think I'm bi, but I guess you'd have to look at the term. Just like I'd say, I have my opinions about certain things. Would you call me a racist? I wouldn't, but who knows nowadays? People have weird definitions. But two of the men that give me a massage,
Mhm.
one is not gay,
Okay.
and the other one is definitely gay.
Okay.
Both give me happy endings,
Mhm.
and the gay guy is always trying to go further.
Oh.
And some of the things are, talking about fantasies, you think, that's another thing that's I think in a male's persona, but they will never tell you about it. You have that little bit of that experimentation that
Right.
it's a fantasy if a gay guy,
Really?
tries something on you or something. Like, for instance,
Okay.
let me switch this around just
Okay.
a minute. What about, do you have any fantasies ever of females doing anything to you?
I'm open to that.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
we all have it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I don't go seeking it, but when
Right.
one comes my way, so this guy is always playing with my ass
Wow.
and doing things. Now he's tried, to
But you don't
have anal
feel-
sex, and I say no. There's
Oh,
no
damn.
way you're gonna do it. No,
Okay, wait.
because he likes to get nude when he's massaging me.
All right, I got a lot of questions now. I got to back up.
Uh-oh, I
All right,
opened up.
you don't feel though this is like crossing the line?
It is. Well,
Oh, like kind of Me Too stuff.
the
Keep going back though, right?
The hand job. Oh yeah, the hand job, because he's really good at it, And to be honest with you, there's that weird thing. I like that attention. I like the fact that he's. I don't know if he's turned on by me, but I like the fact that there's that, that he's gonna play,
Right,
but
right.
I've never let him do it. I will never let him do it. I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
And I told him whenever I turn the corner, if there's ever such a day,
He's
you'll be
first
there.
in line.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, because he's probably done it to a lot of other guys too.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's fun. It's fun.
As long as you're comfortable,
and
it's
it's a
fun.
little tiny portion of my month that when I go to
Yeah.
have a massage and I use him, I know what to expect.
Okay. But now the part that, I'm single. I am no expert here in relationships at all.
Mm-hmm.
But does your wife know? Does she have an idea, you think?
There's certain things you don't tell people. She knows
That's
I go
the way
to get
to
a
put it.
massage. She knows that he's a male.
Okay.
The manscaper, there's again 2 of them that do it, male and female. I think she's a little, probably a little more apprehensive about going to the female because she's never met the person,
Mm-hmm.
and the male, she probably thinks it's okay, you know.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel if tables were turned?
Fine.
Because you guys have been together forever. Is that how this kind of works?
Yeah. I mean, listen, and you probably will agree with this. One of the biggest decisions in your life, the biggest decision one can ever make, is picking the right mate.
Right.
And it will change your life totally. You
Yeah.
know, when you're down, they bring you up.
Yeah,
when
I
you're
know.
up, you know, they're there for you. You're sick, they're there. When you have children, you know, and the love changes in a different way. Like I could say I love my dog, you know, or I love my car. It's a different kind of love. Or I love my friend. It's a different love. The love that you have between, you know, your mate enters different heights of a mountain every time.
Right.
So
It's fluid.
it's fluid. It's always moving. So you have to be careful to take care of it, you know, and certain things I know enough now what not to tell, what to tell. But I don't feel I cross the line ever, you know, that
You two are in a good place.
we're in a good place. I mean, I love listen, it's harder having female friends.
Yeah.
But I do have several,
Mhm.
and they all interact with my wife. And, you know, there's been opportunities where I probably could have, you know, come on to them and something could happen, but I've kept it at bay.
Yeah. Good.
And neither have they done it to me. But
Right.
we, you know, like the one girl, she'll go nude with me, and my wife knows it. She doesn't care.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that is a nudist friend.
As a nudist friend, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we didn't start that way, but you know,
Was she a nudist already?
no, maybe
You
she might have
introduced
been.
her?
Huh?
Or did you introduce her to it?
Yeah. No.
No,
She
no.
was that way, I think. Yeah.
Wow. And what would you do? Like, I go to, you know, I don't know, go out to eat with my friends. What do you do when you guys are?
Yeah, we
In
do
the
the
nude.
same things. Oh, nude?
Yeah.
The nude is only really on the boat.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That would be fun boating in the nude.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
great.
That'd be fun. Well, I don't know. Is there anything? I feel like we got a lot of information out. Do you ever indulge in alcohol and you're like crazy? You know what I mean? Like your clothes just rip off. Like, can that take a bad turn, kind of, or?
No, I've been through the the drug years, you know, of the 80s, I guess. Yeah, 80s, late 80s.
So you drink any other recreational?
I drink alcohol on basically a social level.
Right.
I don't smoke.
Okay.
I'm pretty. I think I take care of my body as much as I can.
Yeah. Do you exercise, work out?
I do, yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
But I'm always doing physical work, so
Right.
that's sort of my exercise.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some crazy times. Like, you remember that movie Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was our days with Quaaludes. They was my
Oh.
favorite drug, and so
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
clothes would fly off.
Hold on. So remind me, what are Quaaludes again exactly? They're like uppers,
Methaqualude,
pills?
the other pills, yeah.
Yeah.
And you take them, and you're like, if you take a little bit of alcohol, you feel like you're drunk. And you sleep real good whenever you wake up.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You get loose just like he did. Like he was
Yeah.
taking them like
Yeah.
crazy. Those are the things then. So
So those were the 80s, but that was just...
those are the 80s,
Yeah.
yeah. And I really don't do, once in a while, do a little bit of drugs
So
or something.
in a way, your nudity is, I don't know if I want to use the word professional, but it's not, you're not a messy, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, yeah.
No, not sloppy.
You're
at
not
all.
sloppy.
No.
That's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah, you're not
No,
sloppy.
no. I like to, I do it for my enjoyment, basically. And like I say, there's that little tinge of eroticism that goes along with it. And it just puts a nice cap on a day, that
Yeah.
might not feel so good, or
Yeah.
it might not be going good, because, every day is
And something you're in control of.
exactly.
Like society is telling you have to do this, you have to do that, but you're in control of, well, no, now I don't want to wear clothes. Or I do want to wear clothes now. You're not following the norm that everyone
Yeah.
feels they have to follow.
Yeah, it's. I wish more people would be open about it, but it's not for me to say
All right.
whether they are or aren't. One comes to mind when I was had my boat where I have it docked. There's also a swimming pool there,
Uh-huh.
and it's a long story, but anyhow, I was doing something and I thought, well, I'm just going to jump in the pool, and there's another guy that shares the dock with me, an older guy, and I took my clothes off and jumped in the pool. And I thought about it, and I go, because I didn't even think twice about it. I just jumped in,
Yeah.
And I'm standing there talking to him, like I am here with you, and,
Yeah.
and he was kind of looking at me, and I thought, oh Jesus, maybe I shouldn't have done this. So things like that, I wish that he didn't say anything.
Right.
But
do you feel we are, we're based on a Puritan, the Pilgrims? Like, do you think if you went to Europe, I've been to Mallorca, Spain, and I went topless. I made a huge mistake because I didn't think, I've never exposed, my boobs. So I got terribly sunburned. And I kind of messed up like 3 days because up there in Spain, I was burnt. But I would assume it's a little bit more free, liberating. I mean, everything, right? In Europe is a little bit more.
Yeah, I've been to Europe a bunch of times, but I've never been to the beach in Europe.
Really?
Yeah. But from what I see everywhere else, it's just from the commercials and everything else. You come across the print advertisement. It's nudity seems to be a lot more accepted than here.
Right. Yeah, we're still founded on some very old-fashioned.
So strange.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a wild, one of those viral pictures where they had the whole police line up, and then there was a naked woman in the middle, and she sat, with her legs open. And that
where was this?
In the States somewhere, I don't know, but I saw that a few months ago. She was naked. Yeah. But this was awesome. Like,
Good.
This was a lot of fun. Is there anything you want to add just for people to give it a try?
Give it a try.
Give it a try. You might like it.
You might like it. Yeah, I'd say give it a try, 100%.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This was really, really fun. Thank you so much. All right. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Thanks, videographer.